Hello and welcome back to another GR4 race at Suzuka. If you didn't see my last video, I've already done this race once in the Porsche Cayman. I wanted to do it in the GT80 or the 86 GR4, which I didn't actually own, so I've gone out and purchased that now. I've come back, didn't actually have time to set any more qualifying laps, so I quickly tested the car just to get a feel of it and see how it was. But I didn't actually improve the 210.6, which is based off about 5 laps in the Porsche. I didn't do a lot of practice for it. I just kind of dropped a lap, that was my time, and I never actually went back and improved it. Now, the 86 I do have, I went through very quickly and chose a livery from the Discover area, and basically I just chose the most horrendous looking livery I could, so I think you'll quite like that when you do see it. Anyway, back on with the racing. You can see we've managed to get 14 people in this lobby, and much like it was last race, I've actually managed to land in the same lobby as the Chook. Now there was actually 14 people I think before we loaded into that. It looks like 2 people have dropped or have been unable to connect. Either way, we have 12 people in the lobby, which is not too bad for Australia, given how much Polyphony Digital has completely screwed us, because there is just not enough people in this category to fill lobbies anymore. But this is actually pretty good. It's Saturday morning where I am, and Sunday morning, sorry, actually, I can't even remember the days. Weekdays are hard. Weekends are even harder, but we yeah, so we've got 12 people in the lobby, which is actually pretty decent, because I had a race earlier on where there was literally 5 of us in the lobby, so to get that many is good. And it looks like Speedy Chicken, actually, I wasn't even concentrating. Speedy Chicken was one of the ones who didn't make it in, so I'm wondering if he had a disconnect problem or some such, but nonetheless that does put me second on the grid, which is cool. Mazdavet has said have a good one. Thanks, Mazdavet. You have a good one as well. But let's see how we go. Take 2. There is the horrendous car itself. Look at it go. Obviously, as you can see from the driver ratings in Australia, because there are so few people, your rating really doesn't matter. I don't know. They may as well remove driver rating from the Australian region, because it doesn't matter. We're in with D's, and I've done a race with E today. B's, A's, it's whatever. Turn up. There's not enough people for Gran Turismo to be choosy, so if you haven't got the gist of what I'm saying, I really am hoping PD puts us back in with the Japanese area. Just trying to concentrate. Turn the traction control off so we can get going. So rolling start was not that nice to us. We're 8/10 behind JT Speed, and old mate is catching up at a rate of knots. Let's see if we can do anything in the corners. Keep it nice and gentle. Try and keep 3rd place at arm's length. Let's see if we can do anything about JT Speed here. Notoriously difficult to overtake on Suzuka. I believe I did mention that in my last video as well, but I'll say it again because it is true. There is a few spots. Let's see if the 86 is any better on speed than the Porsche was. Of course, I suffered badly out of the hairpin. He has taken the most defensive line I have ever seen. I'll try and get on the power early there, but it looks like the Audi is just going to comfortably streak away. And that's why the TT and the Megane have been the 2 popular choices for this track. Because of that power that they do. You can see him pull away, and I've been in the slipstream as well. I would say that the 86 does handle very well, but I also would say it doesn't handle as well as the Porsche. It's probably got a little bit more grunt, judging by the fact that I can keep a little bit closer to the Audi. Bit of a back off, bit of a brake. I still haven't quite figured out how to take those corners exactly right. And just like I did in the Porsche, I'll take this complex in 2nd. I'm going to try and stick with him. It's really under power. I think up through the S's I will get this back. He's just edged away to another 0.8 of a second, which is concerning if I want to try and overtake him for the win, but we'll see if I can't catch back up through the S's and go from there. Missed the apex on that one, so could have done nicer. Probably should have caught up to him a little bit more. This car is geared a bit differently from the Porsche, but not a bad option, actually. I don't mind it so far. It's quite nice to use. You can see how much through that section there I pull back on him. But it's that second half of the track where the power matters. Went down to second, probably should have stayed in third. Got a little bit sideways, had to fight it. Not what I want, because this is, from this point on... Oh, no, I've actually tried to follow him in with the braking then. He's gone deep and I've gone deep as well. But this is the point, and unfortunately I was already about 7/10 of a second coming out of that hairpin behind him. This is the point where he just streaks away. You can see he's already out to 1.1 second lead now. Tricky to get right that corner no matter what car you're in. A little bit of oversteer, unfortunately. Probably tried to take it a bit shallow, but yeah, just streaking away again, out to 1.3 seconds. I didn't get the greatest run out of the corner, which won't help, but it's pulled all the way out to 1.5, so I think it's going to be very tough for me to beat. But we will continue to push on. Had a decent run through the chicane, but it was only really good enough to get a 10th, which he's already pulled back away down the straight. So I'm definitely quicker than him through the turns, but not quick enough, I think, to make a difference. I'm really going to be relying on him to make a mistake there, which, if I could get a little bit closer, he's more likely to do if I can actually apply a bit of pressure to him. Still getting purple sectors through there. That's wide. That is wide. Whew. That was a big moment. I don't know if you guys have ever screwed up there before, but that can get awfully sketchy. And that was just me trying the reason for that. And luckily I had such a big lead over the branchy there behind me. So now he's my focus. I no longer have to worry about first. That could have gone so much worse for me. I actually got out of that very lightly, straight off the throttle when I was on the grass. Typically once you get out there, unfortunately the branchy is really hunting me down, so I've done the worst possible thing. I've actually thrown a bunch of time away in the very section of the track that I'm not, well, right before this section of track which I'm not good at. This is not my car's strength. So, again, I've kept it about a second. If I can get down to these S's, hopefully I can just bridge that gap a little bit from him again. But the reason I made that mistake was because I was just pushing so hard to be that much faster than him through the corners, trying to make up for that horsepower deficit. And I held the throttle pinned. I could kind of tell the car was starting to drift out wide, so I lost 3 seconds on that lap. I could tell the car was drifting out wide, but I held it anyway. And sometimes you got to have a bit of faith and just hope that it all comes together. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. Back to third for there, hold third in this one. Grab fourth quickly, unfortunately, and then back to third again. So it's really, it's in between gears actually. The gearbox is not quite spot on for this thing. See here, I held the throttle on. I knew I was drifting out wide, but I thought, hold it pinned, you got this, big dog, and I didn't have it. Still went back to second there. I think I should be in third for that. You can see how much I've pulled away from the branches. In the section of the track I'm actually good at, but here, under power, I'm now 100% throttle. And you will see both the leader and third position gain on me through here. That was not the best way to do that. But I think my advantage is big enough. I'm still 1.5 seconds over, and so in the end, a little bit of a boring race, but it is, and it's actually got a penalty there as well. It's only 0.4 of a second, so it's not much. Bit of a boring race, but I'll take a second. And yeah, the 86 is good. Would use this on other tracks, perhaps down a little bit on power, but for some reason I don't love balancing BOP all that well in GR4, because usually the Megans dominate, and the TT at the moment is a very, very strong car as well. Yeah, and it was a TT in front and behind, and you could tell with the difference in acceleration there. So they're not a bad car if you're looking for sort of the meta car for this track, and yeah, for this type of race, I would probably say the TT Cup is the way to go. But anyway, that is another race. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching, and I can't wait to talk to you all next time. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like. It does help the channel out a lot, and I always forget to ask for a like, but if you can find it deep in your heart to do that, that'd be great. Anyway, look at that horrendous car there. I'll take second place. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.